एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभउ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभउ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभउ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभउ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। कमाले करामात कायम करीम रज़ा बख्श राज़क रिहा को रहीम। अमा बख्शो बख्शिंदे ओ दस्तगीर रज़ा बख्श रोज़ी देहो दिल पजीर। शहनशाह खूबी देहो रहनमू के बेगून बेचूनो चूबे नमू। ना साजो न बाजो न फौजो न फर्श खुदावंद बख्शन देऊँ ऐशर्श। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। धन धन गुरु गोबिंद सिंह साहब महाराज, धन धन गुरु नानक साहब हजूर। भूल छिमो हमरी प्रभापन पूलनहार कहाँ को मुस। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। We are visiting the Bani of Anand. This Bani has been revealed by Guru Amardas, the third Guru Nanak, at Govindwal. Anand is the state of our inner mind, unconditioned mind, universal mind. Anand is the unconditional love and joy which is available in entire creation, and that is the foundation of creation. Anand is an absolute word, it doesn't have an opposite. So it does not depend on the duality of happiness and sorrow, but it exists by itself. And that is the reason this is unconditional. It has no conditions to it. There are 40 Pauris to this Anand Sahib. Every Pauri literally means a step. And at every step, Guru reveals a deeper secret of life to us. A journey of understanding Gurbani, of understanding creation, and also understanding ourselves. Anand Sahib was composed in Govindwal, the place of residence of Guru Amardas. Guru Ramdas and Guru Arjan, three gurus are connected with Govindwal Sahib. And it is the place where there is a Bauli with 84 steps. And it is the place where Langar was institutionalized. It was organized in a bigger way. And it is at Govindwal that Guru Amardas gave directions for creation of a place at Harmandir Sahib, Amritsar. Every Pauri, literally meaning step, is a step towards understanding the creation. We have now traversed 29 Pauris. Today we will have the darshan of two Pauris, 30 and 31st. Anand Sahib is the one Bani which is sung at the end of every collective congregation of 6 and at the end of every occasion where there is the presence of Prasad, Gur Prasad. And it is the state of being which is revealed to us if we are able to live with the understanding of Guru, with the Gur Prasad in our lives. Please unmute. Sorry about that. So we will discuss these two bodies, we will just go into the details of what Guru is saying today. In our human lives, we are always trying to measure ourselves, trying to understand who we are, what we are, how valuable or invaluable we are, how wealthy we are, how rich, poor we are. This is a part of our identity. If you go to a social occasion, people will ask us, where do you stay? They will see what car you drive, what clothes you wear. Everything which is happening around us is about defining ourselves. And that has a lot to do with the value we put to ourselves vis-a-vis the other. Often relationships will break down if we don't see that the other is worthy of us. We may start off in a relationship where we feel that the other is at par with us, but as we go along, things may change. So a lot has to do with how we define ourselves in terms of wealth as well. That is how society is built, structure is built. And how we are looking at ourselves and society is how we also make the structure of our mind. What is the foundation of our mind? And that becomes the key to our entire life. How I define myself, how I place myself, where is my low self-esteem or high self-esteem is all defined by how I'm looking at myself. In the first body, the 30th body, Guru talks about the value of the Creator. We are always trying to value things around us, and what is more valuable is more dear to us. We try and look after those things which are more expensive. We care more for those. That is our value system. And in this endeavor, we are always trying to understand what is the value of life, what is the value of the Creator as well. Trying to put a understanding to it. This is what is happening even in our historical perspectives. The king with power and money is trying to redefine and trying to define his relationship with the sadhu who doesn't have the power and money. What is the reason? Because he wants to have the control and power over everything. Ego needs us to control and dominate our environment. That is how it gets temporary satisfaction. Ego is never completely satisfied. It is temporarily satiated. And that is the reason for all these conflicts in society as well, where one country feels it should dominate the other. It should have control over the other. The other should be harmed. So the other and my relationship is defining our lives. We don't define ourselves as who we are. We define ourselves how we are vis-a-vis the other. So there is always the two. I'm either lower or higher, better or worse. And we always try and satisfy ourselves that we are better off than others. How we are more smarter, we are more better, we have other qualities. That is how ego is satisfied. That is how we sleep. Our rest comes from these factors that we are better off. We know more, we have more. So the other is always playing a part of our relationship. The Guru is today talking about our creative source and what wealth we can put to it. What value we put to our source, where we come from, and how we have this urgent need to put a value. We want to value those things which are more expensive. We want those to be our possession. So we want Creator to be in our possession. So the king wants to control the saint. He wants to possess the Creator as well. This is the nature of ego. It is never satiated. It wants more, keep wanting more. In the context of our Sikh history, the Sikh Gurus were called Sacha Padshah, the truth king, the true king. So in one occasion, the Mughal king found it objectionable. Why are you called Sacha Padshah? I am the king, I am the Padshah. In Gurbani, there is one Shabad which defines this, says, Ko har saman nahi raja, e pupad sab divas char. What is valuable to the sadhu, to the saint, is that which is possessed in a way which can be never taken away. The king, the wealth, the money can always be given to someone as a temporary possession, only as long as the life lasts at best. Usually it is not even that. But we like to extend ourselves, say we live after we die. We have this thought process of longevity which we have created to fool ourselves, like an opium. Somebody has opium and forgets the reality. So is wealth, Maya, the concept of seeking Maya, have a lot to do with getting us addicted to what is around us being good. And then we find that normal. Something we can find normal. We can be relaxed, we can be at ease, but doesn't mean that we are right. Often those who are troubled are more right than those who are not troubled. Because those who are troubled are really seeking. And those who are relaxed are becoming complacent about life, are not searching enough. Because this game is not so simple. You have to read between the lines. There was a story about the Maharaja of Patiala, Bhupinder Singh. He went to the diamond center, De Beers, and he carried with him 2 bags full of diamonds, and he got 2 necklaces created. They were known as the Patiala necklaces. They were invaluable in some terms. There were so many diamonds in it. One of those diamonds surfaced in England some few years ago, and that one diamond sold for 5 million pounds. So there is a value. And we find that, we admire that, something valuable. But what we miss out is that whatever the value we put around the possessions we have, or even relationships we have, are changing, constantly changing. And so are we, our environment constantly changing. And this dynamism does not guarantee the possession of things in life. It doesn't guarantee relationships in life. What is the ultimate seeking we have is a seeking of being happy. What is the search we are having in every relationship or every possession we want or everything we like? Driven by our senses, we feel, if I have this bag which is nice, it's a nice bag to have. So I want to possess it and I feel happy about it. So ultimately every possession, relationships, has to do with my being happy. And my being happy has two fundamental requirements. The first is that I am calm, because somebody who's not calm, who's anxious, anxiety, who's stressed, will not be happy. First is that I need to be calm, and the second is that I would feel satiated with what I possess for a reasonable amount of time, which never happens really. Israel wants to possess Gaza, but doesn't want to stop there, at the cost of killing, murdering people. That cost is criminal in some ways, but we have a justifiable logic to whatever we do. So in this way, logic is deceptive. So what are we seeking in life is actually, this Bani defines it. It is the Anand of life. And we do not have this information, we do not have this experience that this Anand rests with us unconditionally. This is what the gift of this Bani is. Guru Amar Das is defining this relationship of me and Anand. In fact, Guru has placed Anand as the fundamental experience of meeting between a Sikh and a Guru. Jis miliye man hoye Anand, so Satgur kahiye. The other thing which Guru Amar Das says in this Bani, Anand paya meri mai Satguru mein paya. Meeting of the Sikh and Guru is the revelation of Anand, opening the doors of the Sikh's life, which limit the experience of life to the body, to the senses. Anand is an inner experience which opens the doors to an infinite existence, where peace and love and joy exist together without death. That's called Amrit. Amrit is a very intense word. It means that who never dies and is always swimming in the ocean of love and joy. Here we have two lives we live. If we limit our life experience to the ego life, to the conditioned and changing mind, to the transient mind, the moving thought mind, then we will keep wandering, seeking our happiness in one place than the other place. There's nothing wrong with that. That we will even do otherwise. We may not seek it as much. If we transcend the ego, if we transcend the moving mind, chalte ho man rakhe, eh man chalte ho. In the Bani of Siddh Gosht, Guru says this, eh man chalte ho, the moving mind. Beyond the moving mind, there is a world, an experience. That is the Anand of life. And that is only revealed to us when we meet the Guru. And that's the reason Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj has put Gur Prasad as the culmination of the Mool Mantar. The Guru's blessing, meeting the Guru giving his ultimate love, meeting a Sikh and making the Sikh a part of Guru in such a way that the Guru's experience is now revealed to the Sikh. Guru Har Rai Maharaj goes into Dhyan. He's sitting in his six with his six, and he is gone for 2-3 hours. He is missing, completely gone, and he is in samadhi. When he comes out, the six of us ask him, Maharaj, what happened? Guru says, one of my six in Kabul was in dhyan with me, and we were in dhyan together. We were absorbed into each other. This is the psychology of the spiritual mind, where there is no two minds, there is one mind, and distance, space become irrelevant. We are sitting in one place and we are in dhyan of the Guru, and it's a natural process. It's not as though it's a conditioned environment or I'm forcing myself to do it. The love and energy of Anand draws the Sikh into the Guru's presence, and that makes him beyond the physical reality. In discussing moksha or mukti, nirvana, the mythologies talk about these three states. One is going beyond birth and death. One is being bade, going beyond the body, senses. And third is kavalya, free of all conditions. What is life? Where do the life's requirements lie when we seek our Anand, our happiness, our source of joy? Judo Krishnamurti used to discourse at Adyar next to a river. I went to him when I was very small. He passed away many years ago. He used to every day discourse. And a cow used to come at the gate and listen to him discourse, so to say. She used to be present during the discourse and then go away. He would discourse in 2 different languages. He was a very small, fragile, physical. The Theosophic Society nurtured him to become a guru, but he revolted. The Theosophic Society is in Bangalore. But Judo Krishnamurti lived in Adyar. He discoursed. Of course, they helped him discourse, go all over the world, because a certain amount of structure is required. So this cow used to come and listen to him. And the day Judo Krishnamurti passed away, the cow also gave up his life. There at the door of Judo Krishnamurti's house. This is the one mind. Between the Sikh and Guru, there is no two, there is only one. And that is the Anand experience, the revelation of the Anand, the unconditional joy and love in life. We will read through the 30th Pauri first, the step, and then the 31st Pauri. Every word which Guru Amar Das says is very intense, in many ways redefining, charismatic, revealing a deeper part of ourselves. How do I live my ego life and yet have the ability to go beyond it? Go into that world where, like we leave our shoes at the door of our house and enter, we leave ego at the door and we enter this realm of the Creator, which Guru calls Naam, and which is the revealing energy of Anand. How do I go there? How do I reach there? Where do I seek? These are the more potent and relevant issues. it is not to say that life's conflicts will be gone. The ego world has its own entraptions, it has own complexities, it has its own defining energies. We still live the ego world till as long as we are ready to depart it completely. Where I destroy the ego completely forever and never go back to it again. मैं नाही, कछ हूँ नहीं, किछ आहे न मोरा. This is Bhagat Rav Das. But that realm has its own rules, its own paradigm. And the first amongst them is the meeting with the Guru. The seeker and the answer to his seeking or her seeking lies with the Guru. So we define most of our lives by what we seek in life. Whatever we are seeking intensely, that is where life will flow. So we should be very careful about where we are driving our lives. This is like a shop which has infinite objects in it. Some things will please us for some minutes, some days, some months, some years, some a whole lifetime will get absorbed in. We have to do something in life. We keep doing it. But there is one object in this experience of life which is absolute in the sense that it is unconditionally available to us forever. And that is what Guru, Sikh, Guru Nanak Sahib seeks when he says, Nanak lekhe ek gal aur home chakhna chak. Beyond the ego, chakhna chak, home, beyond the ego mind is this one object which Guru says, ek gal. Where everything resides in this one thing. Everything comes from this one thing. Every conflict, every problem, every solution, everything which we are seeking lies in this question of life. Where is my Amrit? And how do I meet my Guru? The 30th and 31st Pauri of Anand Sahib, Anudeep.
जी वाहिगुरु जी. हर आप अमूलक है, मुल न पाया जाए, मुल न पाया जाए, किसे बट हो रहे लोक विल लाए. ऐसा सतगुरु जी मिले, जिसनो सिर सौंपिए, विचों आप जाए. जिसदा जियो तिस मिल रहे, हर वसे मन आए. हर आप अमूलक है, भाग बिना के नानका, जिन हर पल्ले पाए. हर आप अमूलक है, मुल न पाया जाए, मुल न पाया जाए, किसे वट हो रहे लोक विल लाए. ऐसा सतगुरु जी मिले, जिसनो सिर सौंपिए, विचों आप जाए. जिसदा जियो तिस मिल रहे, हर वसे मन आए. हर आप अमूलक है, भाग बिना के नानका, जिन हर पल्ले पाए. वाहिगुरु जी.
Thank you. The sadhu, the sant, those who experience the source of the mind, is immensely invaluable. It has no value. And that is more valuable than the entire creation put together. All the time we are trying to define what is valuable in life. Where lies the wealth of life? And while we are trying to define it, it tells us something about ourselves. What are we trying to define? What are we putting our effort into? What do I put my energy and time and space into? Seeking what? That tells me what I am. Guru's life and what Guru is offering to us, and what the sadhu, the sant is seeking, is satiating. It completely fulfills him or her. It doesn't let him wander or her wander because it is so fulfilling. An experience which is so fulfilling that it does not leave me hungry. It does not leave me wandering, wanting more. It satiates me. What is life's ultimate experience? Is what Guru Amar Das is talking about. And he says, in our wanting to put value on life, when he says, Rahe lok villai, we are always shouting, I am, we are, I know, I have wealth. These are my stimulants of life. What is stimulating me in life is important to understand. Guru does not talk about these stimulants. He does not talk about this wealth. When in the Japji Maharaj talks about wealth, he says that the wealth of life, of wealth of a Sikh, is the Shabad. Kadiye Shabad Sachi Taksar. In fact, he calls this the mint, where money is coined, is the mint, Taksal. Kadiye Shabad Sachi Taksar. Shabad is the wealth for the Sikh. The reason is that Shabad is the Guru, the revealer of the ultimate Anand of life. The one source which will free us from all our bindings. And when Guru Nanak is asked by the Siddhs that this world is difficult to cross, how do I live here and yet be free of it? जैसे जल में कमल निरालम मुर्गाई ने साने, सुरत शब्द भव सागर तरिए, नानक नाम बखाने. Surat and Shabad, Guru says, is the wealth. By Nandlal Goa, the poet, the Brahmagyani poet from Guru Nanak's court, when he talks about wealth, Daulat, Javed, Bashat, Bandagi. Daulat, Javed. Javed means forever. That makes all the difference. Wealth, temporarily, we can have a lot. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Maharaj in Hazur Sahib was given a Nagina. There's a place, Gurdwara, there, Nagina Ghat. And Maharaj threw it in the water. Now, whenever somebody offers the Guru wealth with ego, it is not acceptable. But when it comes with love, even if it's the kaudi, even if it is a small coin, even if it is grass, the love is the valuable aspect. Guru throws the Nagina in the river. It's not as though Guru does not keep wealthy objects. He does keep them. But when it comes with ego, that I am the giver, then it is not a transaction between the Guru and Sikh. Because ego is not a transaction commodity. Here the home Shabad Jalai. But what is important for this experience of Shabad and Surat is the Surat mind of ours. The Surat has an intense inquiry, a hunger for Shabad. It has the stable mind, Heran Mat, It has Sahaj Avastha, non-doing. So Anand is conditional on non-doing. I am not doing anything. My doing is not the answer. My just not doing. Just sitting, zazen. I just sat down and I am in Anand. Suniye maniye, man ki tapa. Antargat Tirath Malnao. There is a Tirath within us, Maharaj says. Suniye, absorbing. Maniye, aligning. Becoming one with the Guru. And finding love. Man ki tapa. Antargat, within our man, there is a Tirath. A place of celebration which frees us. Guru Amar Das, a few podis before, revealed these 4 conditions of meeting the Guru, of meeting Anand. Shabad, stable mind, love and Gur Prasad. Samadhi has to do with 3 energies. Swas, Surt and Shabad. When we transcend all change, when all change loses its ability to impact us, there is a mythological place in literature, Shangri-La, where no one dies, where there is always joy and love and happiness, and insulated from the entire change of creation. Maharaj says, Har aap amolak hai. The name of Guru, Hari, is invaluable, and that is the most valuable thing in life for 2 reasons. One, it gives us our ultimate seeking. What are we seeking? Surnar Munjan Amrit Khojde. Everybody is looking for happiness forever. That is what this experience of Hari is, Naam is. Har aap amolak hai, mul na paya jaye. And the other thing is, it cannot be taken away. It can't be burnt, it can't be broken, it can't be taken from the person. It can't be burnt and diseased. It can't be changed. That is a very powerful experience to have. And that is what makes it invaluable. Any king in this world will die a pauper, like Alexander. Any king, any man of influence with lots of wealth will die miserable because he has to leave that much more wealth. The more we have, the more we have to leave. The more that binds us. And we have spent all our lives defining ourselves along with that wealth. We must make a note of that. All our lives, that wealth we have or we have had, we define our identity with that wealth unknowingly, knowingly, all the time. Our whole demeanor has to do with this conditioned mind, where wealth is a part of our psychology. If someone with wealth feels he has nothing in the morning, he will not go to sleep. We define ourselves. This is my house. This is my bank balance. This, everything which is there, less or more, we are always using that as a part of our calculation of life. That is how the ego exists. I am and what I have is an important part of this experience. And that is all our lives. We have 70, 80, 90, 100 years. We are defining it constantly every day. So that makes it more rigid, less flexible. And we have to leave it in an instant. And we are ill-prepared to do that. It can have to do with not only wealth, but also other structures. My job, my business, my relationships, these are also as binding. And that is how Maharaj says this is all Moh Maya. It's not a permanent experience. But we use those things as our survival. So what is Maharaj saying? He is not saying leave them. He's saying watch the mind, search the mind. There are answers in the mind about these issues, and they cannot be explained in words. But the experience of the revelation between the Sikh and Guru will dramatically change everything. Maharaj says, Mul na paya jaye. This Hari Naam experience cannot be valued because it is what we are always seeking, and it cannot be taken away from us. Mul na paya jaye, this is vitto. For any method, any reason, it cannot be valued. We want to value it because that will satisfy our ego. We want to measure everything. So we feel we know, but it cannot be measured. Rahe lok billai. We are always struggling to define this. We are struggling to define life. We are struggling to understand life. We are struggling to define our own happiness. We are struggling to define our relationship with our Creator. We are struggling to understand death, change, happiness and sorrow. We are struggling with all these things all our lives. ऐसा सतगुर जे मिले तिसनु सिर सौंपिए विचों आप जाए. Maharaj says, if you find such a Guru who's invaluable, who's beyond measure, whose experience takes us beyond death, because this is what it means. It cannot be taken away, means it is beyond death. Then Maharaj says, don't leave that door. Aisa Satgur je mile, tisnu sir saupi. Give up everything for that one relationship between Sikh and Guru. Humble yourself. Don't go with ego. Bow here. Bow here not as you bow to a king who has wealth in money and in land and tax, but who has power over all creation, who can redefine our relationship with our own man. Here lies the ultimate power of life. Maharaj said, Tisnu sir saupiye. What does this mean, sir saupiye? Give up the conditioned mind. Give up the ego mind. Vicho aap jaye. Give up this I. Drop the mind, the ego. Be in presence of the Guru. Suniye maniye man ki tapa. Be in manan, be in dhyan, be in shabad, be in one focus with the Guru. And don't have any ego part to it. Maharaj says, Jis da jio tis mil rahe. Har vasya man aaye. Jis da jio tis mil rahe. One who is blessed by the Guru, he meets the Guru. Har vase man aaye. And the Guru resides in the man, is revealed in the man. Har aap amulak hai, bhag tina ke nanka, man har palle paye. Those who are blessed, bhag tina ke nanka, meet this Guru. Jin har palle paye. The Guru reveals the Creator to this Sikh, and the experience is revealed. 31st Pauri.
जी। हर रात मेरी मन बंजारा, हर रात मेरी मन बंजारा, सतगुर ते रास जानी, हर हर नित जपियो जियो, लाहा खटियो दिहाड़ी, ਇਹ ਤਨ ਤਿਨਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਜਿਨ ਹਰ ਆਪੇ ਪਾਣਾ, ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਹਰ ਰਾਸ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਨ ਹੋਆ ਵਣਜਾਰਾ, हर रास मेरी मन बंजारा, हर रास मेरी मन बंजारा, सतगुर ते रास जाने, हर हर नित जपियो जियो, लाहा खटियो दिहाड़ी, ਇਹ ਤਨ ਤਿਨਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਜਿਨ ਹਰ ਆਪੇ ਪਾਣਾ, ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਹਰ ਰਾਸ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਨ ਹੋਆ ਵਣਜਾਰਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ।
Maharaj uses the simile of a trader. When Guru Maharaj is asked by Siddhs, किस कारण ग्रह तज्जे उदासी, किस कारण है पेक निवासी, किस वक्खर के तुम बन जा रहे, क्यों कर साथ लगावो पारे, किस वक्खर, you are a trader in what? They ask Maharaj. You are trading in what? Maharaj says, साच वक्खर के हम बन जा रहे, I trade in truth. So when Maharaj talks about giving up the mind, giving up the ego, what does the ego have to do with trading? Here Maharaj is now revealing a different kind of relationship. The man being the trader, the Hari Naam being the capital, the punji, the real capital with which we invested capital. The profit coming from the jap of the man. Maharaj says, Har ras meri man banjara. The mind is the trader. It gives up the ego and it realizes the truth. It gives the ego away. Man beche Satgur ke paas. He has sold the ego. And in return, the sevak ke karaj ras. He has the ultimate revelation in his man. That which is not revealed to anybody of any wealth. And at one place, Guru says this, that with all the wealth of the world, you can't buy this. That is what a molak means. Kanchan syo paiye nahi tol. With all the gold of the world, you cannot measure and buy naam. Man de Ram liya hai mol. Giving up the ego mind, the trade of the ego mind, giving up falsehood, transient, changing mind. Ram liya hai mol. And he has found naam, the ultimate wealth of life, the ultimate existence of life, the primal experience which anybody can have of this world. Har ras meri. The Hari's name is my wealth of invested wealth. And man is the trader. And what does the man do? Har ras meri man banjara satgur te ras jani. And this capital's nature will be revealed through the Guru. We don't know what is within the man. Guru reveals this to us. Har har nit japho japhe japyo jivo. Laha khatyo dihadi. Within the man, jivo, we japo naam. And that is the trade. With every jap, with every Shabad and Surat experience, we give away our false identity and move closer to the subtle energies of life. We prepare ourselves in a slow, steady way without our realizing. Maybe long journey, maybe short journey, depending on the structure of our baggage. Har ras meri Man Vanjara Satgur Te Ras Jani. We cannot know through the ego, Maharaj. But the Guru can tell us this. Guru can reveal us the ego mind and the inner mind. The Guru can open this experience for us. Har har nit japo jivo. Through the energized jivo mind, we japo naam. Japaman satnam sada satnam. Why do we japo? Because we become one with Bani. With the moving mind goes away and we become Bani. Gurbani baniye. Japaman satnam sada satnam. When the Simran है जो सिमरन पे आता उपादगत कीनी. When we start, we remember and then Simran happens. The man becomes Simran. Now I've remembered my source. Now the Simran is giving me the joy. Jap har pav jal tarno. Jan Nanak ko gur ahmad dini. Jap har pav jal tarno. Jap the mool mantar. Jap the Naam, Bani, and become the roop of the Bani, where the thinking mind, moving mind, the ego mind is sold to the Bani, and the Bani becomes the reality of the Man. So Dhyan is an important element between this relationship of Shabad and Guru. Shabad, Surt and Shabad. So the more intensely my dhyan is focused on Shabad, the more the revelation will happen. Har har nit japo jivo, laha kateo dihadi. This is the dihadi, the prophet. The prophet of the laha kateo. Every day, every dihadi is every stage. Dihadi is the day's experience of work. That is my daily work. Har har nit, nit. So it's important to be present in this daily because I love it, not because I'm forced to it. Maybe initially I force myself, but then I start loving it because the experience pulls me in. Har har nit japho jivo laha khatyo dehadi. And we profit. That profit takes us further away from our pain, takes us further away from our changing mind, takes us further away from the gross elements of life and make it more subtle. Where we don't lose this now anymore. Where we start playing a winning game. Now mare na thage jaye. जिनके राम वसे मन माए. They will not lose. They will never be cheated. Because the profit is what they are earning every day. ए तन तिन्ना मिलिया, ए तन तिना मिलिया, जिन हर आपे पाना. Those who are gifted with Gur Prasad, they are the ones who get this wealth. Gur Prasad is the one key. The Shabad Guru is the key. Where the home Shabad jalai. Where the home is gone. And the home is gone, there is only Nirankar. Kahe Nanak, har ras meri, man hua vanjara. Guru Amar Das says that Hari is my wealth, my invested wealth. And my trading mind earns profit in the jap of Shabad. This is the journey towards my inner self, where the ultimate pilgrimage is within my mind, not outside. Where the Anand experience is open to the Sikh. This is the discourse of the 30th and 31st Pauri of Anand Sahib. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand and we can unmute you. Otherwise, we will recite the Anand Sahib and conclude today's session.
Vaidhuji, I have a question.
Hanji.
You mentioned, there were 3 points that you mentioned, where one was Bade, and there were 2 more aspects.
One was Avagaman, birth and death. Freedom from birth and death. The other was freedom from the body, from physical senses. And third was Kavalya. These are the 3 muktis in tradition.
So are they a part of the 6th tradition as well? Is that something that we also look forward to?
Well, they are traditionally mentioned. So it really depends on the journey of the soul, what kind of experience a person has. So I'm sure they are relevant because these are also mentioned in the Gurbani. These experiences are mentioned in the Gurbani. Freeing ourselves of the senses while living is the Sant. Those who don't have to come back to take birth is also Sant, but a different nature. It is not bound to take birth again. But it is all to do with the structure of the mind.
Right. I remember reading one of the books by Brian Weiss, and when he was doing that the past life regression for his patient, what he mentioned in the book was that our soul keeps traveling till the time it is able to imbibe the qualities of the God. Does this have more of an ego in it, or is it actually something where the soul, there's a communion between the soul and the ultimate truth?
Anyone preaches anything of his own, unless he or she has experienced it himself, it becomes hearsay. But in Gurbani, Guru Nanak talks about Kar tar fir thaki bahtere. Kar tar, so many houses, dar, doors, firta, wandering, thak gaya, tired. So many houses, doors, I have wandered and become tired. Jaat asank, ant nahi mere. Infinite, Maharaj says. And there is no end to this wandering. The God experience, who is God, what is God? Guru defines it as Naam, the Naam experience in the Man. When the Naam is revealed to someone, that satiates the person, that fulfills the yearning of being desireless. Otherwise, in the ego, we keep desiring. Home, Trishna, they go together. And that is the reason for fear and wandering. Guru Nanak's experience talks about mukti in the terms of living while we are living. मरण मुकुत किन पाई, बैणी कहे सुनो रे संतो, मरण मुकुत किन पाई. After birth, death, who has found freedom? When you have got freedom in living, only that is the valuable experience. And that has to do with the experience of opening of Anand. Because that is the reason for the freedom, Anand. That is what frees us from our transient mind, giving us Amrit, unconditional love and happiness within the source of our mind. And that experience is opened by the Guru. जी। Well, there is this also this other aspect, Jagrat Supan Sakhopat Turiya. Turiya is the egoless experience of the man. And when we reach Turiya, we don't take birth again. So it is the state where there is no ego. Main nahi, kich hao nahi, kich aahe na mora. There is no ego in that sphere of existence. So that is also what Bani tells us. Where there is no ego, the droplet now merges with the ocean. That is the only way we can merge with our Creator when I am not. Ji.
Should I start with Anand sir?
If anybody has any more questions? No more? Yes, Manmeet. Hanji.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
वाहिगुरु मनमीत जी, वाहिगुरु।
वीर जी, मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि सपोज व्हेन वी आर डूइंग सिमरन इन द मॉर्निंग, मतलब मैं बहुत सारे मतलब कथावाचक बोल लोगों ने सुना है कि वी शुड काउंट इट, जैसे अन्य मूल मंत्र दा जाप किया। और माय क्वेश्चन इज, शुड वी काउंट और शुड वी डोंट काउंट?
Very interesting story. There is one story about Sadhu meets another one who uses the rosary, the beads. So he asks him, you have kept this rosary, the beads with you. Are you sure you count them properly? So he says, yes, I make a lot of effort to count them properly. I don't make errors. He says, then how are you going inwards? Your dhyan is in the beads. If you are gone inwards, there is no counting. You're gone in. You have been pulled into a river. Where are you counting? Who is the one who is counting? The I is counting. It's the I which is counting. Where there is I, there is no Naam. So he says, you are fooling yourself with this rosary. Throw it away. Love doesn't have any counts, any accounts. It doesn't have any balances, bank balance or structure or balance sheet. Love has no account. One is enough if said with intensity. Ek pal janik chintyayo. Ek pal, but completely. So Manmeet ji, two things. ਜਦੋਂ ਨਾਮ ਜਪੋ ਤਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਜਪੋ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਤਾਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਏਗਾ, ਧਿਆਨ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ ਜਾਪ ਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਵੈਖਰੀ ਤੋਂ ਕਰੋ, ਗਾਵੀਏ ਸੁਣੀਏ ਮਨ ਰੱਖੀਏ ਭਾਵ। ਸੇ ਇਟ ਆਊਟ, ਵੈਖਰੀ ਬਾਣੀ। ਵੈਖਰੀ, Madham, Pashyanta, Para. These are different energies of sound. But use this Vaikhari, Gaviye, Suniye. This is what Guru Nanak Sahib is encouraging us to do. Where do you stay, Manmeet? Do you stay in Delhi or where?
No, I am in Canada.
Okay, all right. So Gaviye, Suniye. When you sit in the morning, we preferably make it dark, allow the energies to play. Gavi, Shabad, absorbed within the man. Suniye, because the man has to be absorbed in the Shabad. Gavi, Suniye, meaning the senses being absorbed in the Shabad. Man rakhiye pao, find that love. Dukh par har sukh kar le jaye. So my submission is, who is counting? If you are counting, then who is doing the job? We can do only one thing, not two. If we are two, the mind is wandering. We need एक पल जिनिक चिंत्याय, सावधान एकाग्र चीत, प्रभ की उस्तत करो संतमीत, सावधान एकाग्र एक चित, not two. I hope I am able to assist you.
Anji Virji, thank you so much.
This is ego counting. Ego is counting. I am sure there is no counting. An infinite jap is done. Jap so japa jape. Where there is no one is doing the job, it is going on, Maharaj says. Who is counting? Maharaj.
बट एक और क्वेश्चन है, मतलब इस तो रिलेटेड है ਤੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਇੱਕ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਜੀ ਆਈ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਫਿੰਗਰ ਤੇ ਪਾ ਲਓ ਔਰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਇੱਕ ਜਾਪ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਰੋ, ਸੋ ਆਲ ਥੀਸ ਆਰ ਨਾਟ ਮੇਕਿੰਗ ਸੈਂਸ, ਰਾਈਟ?
ਇੱਕ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਾ ਬੁੱਲੇ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਹੈ, ਮਨ ਕਾ ਫੇਰ ਲੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਰਤ ਮਿਲਾ ਦੂ ਸੋਏ। ਤੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਮਨਮੀਤ, ਤੇ ਉਂਗਲੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਪਾਣ ਨਾਲ ਥੋੜੀ ਲੱਭਦਾ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ। ਮਨ ਕਾ ਫੇਰ ਲੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਮਨ ਕੇ ਫੇਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਹੱਥ ਬੀੜ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮਨ ਕਾ ਫੇਰ ਲੈ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮਨ ਕਾ ਫੇਰ ਲੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਰਤ ਮਿਲਾ ਦੂੰ ਤੋ। ਜਿਤਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਂਗਲੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਉਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਮਿਲਾ ਦੇਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ। ਸ਼ਬਦ ਹੈ ਕਰਾਮਾਤ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਔਰ ਸੁਰਤ ਦੀ ਕਰਾਮਾਤ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹਦੀ ਬੀੜ ਬੈਂਡ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਤੇ ਸਭ ਈਗੋ ਦੇ ਡਿਸਟਰੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਹਨ। ਔਰ ਈਗੋ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ, ਕਹੇਗੀ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ, ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਚਾਹ ਪੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਟੁਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਸਭ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਦੇ ਸਾਈਕੋਸਿਸ ਹੈ ਟੂ ਡਰਾ ਯੂ ਆਊਟਸਾਈਡ।
I have one more question, sorry. So ਦੋ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਾਊਂਟਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਖ, ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਜੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ।
ਮੈਂ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣ ਨਾ ਮਿਲਣ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਿਹਾ, ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਕਾਊਂਟਿੰਗ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ।
ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਇਹ ਗਲਤ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਨਾ।
ਚੜੀਏ ਹੋਈ 21 ਜਾਪ ਕਰਨ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਇਨਸਾਨ, ਗਿਣਤੀਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈ। ਗਿਣਤੀ ਦਾ ਕੌਣ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ? प्रेम हो गया मन, केड़ी गिनती रह गई? बह गया मन, मैं ते चली गई किधरे, तो गिन कौन रहा है? जब मैं है ही नहीं तो गिन कौन रहा? अगर गिन रहा है तो मैं है, फिर नाम कौन जपदा है? फिर असी तो प्रेम विच बहना है, प्रेम विच बहा देना है मन नूं, प्रेम विच डुबो देना है मन नूं। मैं हाँ ही नहीं तो गिनेगा कौन? किस नूं मिलना है किस नूं नहीं मिलना है आप दी जजमेंट है। ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਹੀਏ? ਬਟ ਇਹ ਈਗੋ ਦੇ ਪਾਰਟਸ ਸਾਰੇ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਕਰਨਾ। ਇਹ ਤਰਾ ਪਦ ਪਵੜੀਏ ਚੜੀਏ ਹੋਏ 21 ਜੀ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ।
ਵੈਲਕਮ। ਜਾਪ ਟੁਰਦੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਲੋੜ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੈਠਣ ਦੀ। ਅਗਰ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਇਕਾਗਰਤਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ ਜੇ, ਜਪ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੋ ਜੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਫਿਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਟੁਰਦੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਭਗਤੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਕੌਣ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਕਰੇਗਾ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਨਾਲ ਜਾਪ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੈਖਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ?
ਇਨੀਸ਼ੀਅਲੀ ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਫਿਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਫਿਰ ਮਨ ਤੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ।
ਲਾਈਟ ਜਲੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਪਰ
ਲਾਈਟ ਬੰਦ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਸਵੇਰੇ।
ਓਕੇ, ਚੰਗਾ। ਡੂ ਇਟ ਵਿਦਆਊਟ ਕਾਊਂਟਿੰਗ ਇਜ਼ ਪ੍ਰੈਫਰੇਬਲ।
ਐਂਡ ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਕਰਨਾ, ਮਨ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਰਾਈਟ?
ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਵਿੱਚ ਫॉर ਸਮ ਟਾਈਮ, few months, ਫਿਰ ਮਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਟੇਕ ਓਵਰ ਕਰ ਲੇਗਾ। फिर बोलना ही नहीं, बोलने नहीं देगा मन। जब अंदर चला जाएगा फिर बोलेगा कौन? जब अंदर चला गया तो बहुत स्ट्रगल खत्म होगी। फिर अंतर बसे ना बाहर जाए। द ट्रेडिशन इंस्टिंक्टिवली मन बाहर ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂਦਾ है। ऐसे करके गिनतियाँ है, बाउंड बैंड पा लो है, फलाना कर लो, मैं इतना कर लिया, मैं इतना कर लिया। ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਨਿਰੰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਗਿਣਤੀ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਬਈ ਖਾਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ। जी महाराज। हाँ जी, एनी मोर क्वेश्चन? नहीं तो असं आनंद साहब पढ़ते।
Should I start?
हाँ जी, anyone can raise your hand अगर कोई है। हाँ जी अनुदीप जी, स्टार्ट।
वाहिगुरु जी। राम कली महला तीजा। आनंद एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद। आनंद पया मेरी मानी सतगुरु में पाया। सतगुर ता पाया सहज से प्रिय मन वजिया वादाइया। राग रतन परवार परियां शब्द गावैया। शब्दो गावो हरि के राम मंजनी बसाया। कहे नानक आनंद हुआ सतगुरु ने पाया। हे मन मेरे तू सदा रहो हर नाले। हर नाल रहो तू मेरे सब सारना। अंगीकार हो करे तेरा काज सब सवारना। सब नाम समरथ स्वामी सो क्यों मन विसारे। कह नानक मन मेरे सदा रहो हर नाले। साचे साहिबा क्या नहीं करते रे। करता तेरे सब किछ जिसने सो पावे। सदा सिफ्त सलाह तेरी नाम मन वसाए। नाम जिनके मन वसिया मज शब्द कनेरे। कहे नानक मुझे साहिब क्या नहीं करते रे। साचा नाम मेरा आधारो। साच नाम आधार मेरा। इन भुखा सब गवाइया। कर शांत सुख मन आए वसिया। जिन इच्छा सब पुजाइया। सदा कुर्बान कीता गुर बिटो। जिस दियां वडियाइया। कहे नानक सुनो संतो शब्द तरो प्यारो। साचा नाम मेरा आधारो। वाजे पंच शब्द कर सुहागे कर सुहागे। शब्द वाजे कला जित कर तारिया। पंच दूत वस कीते काल कंटक मारिया। तुर कर्म पाया तो जिनको से नाम हर के लागे। कहे नानक तै सुख हुआ तित कर आनंद वाजे। आनंद सुनो वड पागी हो मनोरथ पूरे। पार ब्रह्म प्रभ पाया उतरे सगल विसूरे। दुख रोग संताप उतरे सुनी सच्ची बाणी। संत साजन पै सर से पूरे गुर ते जानी। सुनते पुनीत कहते पवित्र सतगुर पर पूरे। बिनु अंत नानक गुर चरण लागे हे अनहद तूरे। पूर्ण गुरु कहते पवित्र सतगुर पर पूरे। बिनु अंत नानक चरण लागे पूरे। पवन गुरु पिता माता तप महत। दिस रात दुखदाई दया खेल सगल जगत। चंगियां बुराइयां उछे धर्म दूर। अपनी के नेड़े के दूर। जिन्नी नाम ते आया
ਗਏ ਮੁਸ਼ੱਕਤ ਕਾਲ, ਨਾਨਕ ਤੇ ਮੁਕੁੰਜਲੇ, ਕੀਤੀ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਨਾਲ। ਜਿਨੀ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਆਇਆ, ਗਏ ਮੁਸ਼ੱਕਤ ਕਾਲ, ਨਾਨਕ ਤੇ ਮੁਕੁੰਜਲੇ, ਕੀਤੀ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਨਾਲ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਆਲ ਆਫ ਯੂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।